Hello, beautiful people. All right, today I want to talk about something a bit sensitive today, has to do with relationships and marriages. So, especially in marriage, I want to talk about being married and having the opposite sex as your best friend. I've been having talks with people. Some persons have reached out to me, and here is my honest opinion. This is what I think. For me, I actually think it's not safe, and I don't think it actually makes sense to be married as a married woman and your best friend is a man. Now, these are my reasons. It's normal in marriage. Sometimes you have issues with your husband. It's actually normal. Every relationship, sometimes you might have quarrels and all of that. We have our moments and all of that. And actually think it makes it a lot interesting because if you don't quarrel with your husband, if you don't have issues, how would it be interesting? You will just stay, nobody's fighting each other, nobody. No, 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 no. Once in a while, it's normal you have your quarrels. It depends on how you now want to handle the misunderstanding or whatever it might be. So I and at times like that, maybe when you're angry, you wake up in the morning and you're mad at your husband. Maybe both of you just had a quarrel or something, and you don't want to see his face and you're angry, you don't want to talk to him. And the next thing is that you just see yourself, you are going to talk to your friend. That is the woman now. You're going to talk to your supposed best friend. So, and at that time, you might be hurt. Your husband might have done something that is really hurting, and you are talking to your friend because you need to let it out. And for me, you don't know, and you're vulnerable, probably you start crying, something else might happen. It's not a good idea. By the time he's consoling you, oh, sorry, maybe your husband didn't mean it like that, this and that, and all of that. You having a male friend as your best friend, as a married woman, makes you vulnerable. It's really dangerous because it's before you know it, somebody starts catching feelings. Either the woman is catching feelings, or the man is catching feelings, or you both are catching feelings, and something happens and you break your marital vow. Something goes wrong. You start cheating on your spouse. It's really not necessary. There are some things when you're married. You need to set the boundaries. When you are married, be it a married man or a married woman, you set the boundaries. Yes, I know you might have these friends before you get married. You might have the friend before you got married to your wife. You might have this friend before you got married to your husband. But hello, you are now married. So you need to set the boundaries and know that, okay, this person can no longer be my best friend. Personally, for me, my husband is my best friend. So I don't see what I want to discuss, what I want to say that I can't tell my husband. The kind of gist sometimes we just talk about everything and anything. So I don't see what it is. I don't think there's any decision I want to take that I will not even involve my husband. So we are that close, and that is how it should be for every couple. And that doesn't mean that we don't have our moments. Every marriage, every relationship, the couples have their moments, except you're just deceiving yourselves. You must have your issues. It definitely must happen. So what matters is how you handle it and all of that. So for me personally, it's normal for you to have misunderstanding. But having, let me come back to my main, what I'm talking about. Having the opposite sex as your best friend and you while married, it's dangerous. It's a no-no. It's toxic. It's not needed. You don't need it. So I personally want to advise that you're a married woman or a married man, and a married man you have a woman as your best friend, a married woman you have a man as your best friend, please cut off that relationship if you truly love your spouse and you truly value your marriage, because it can lead to something else. I was having a talk with somebody recently. I had to talk to her. I told her to cut off that relationship because it would do her no good. So let your husband or your wife be your best friend. There's no need of having the opposite sex because anything can happen. You might, as a woman, might have a clean intention, but you don't know that your best friend might even be having feelings for you and something happens, or vice versa. Whatever it is, I don't think is a good idea. This is my honest opinion. I don't think it's good. So, to play safe and have a healthy relationship, whatever it is, settle your issue with your husband. Let your husband be your best friend. I don't think there's anything you're talking to another person about you want to share with somebody that you shouldn't share with your spouse. And that is even important. That is why your husband should first of all be your friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? So your spouse should first of all be your best friend before you now talk about, okay, your husband. Sometimes I actually, sometimes I try to switch. if I want to talk to my husband about something and I feel that I don't want him to get personal, I don't want him to see me as his wife now, I'll say, okay, I'll tell him, okay, there's something I want to discuss with you. I want you to advise me as my friend. Don't advise me as if I'm your wife. Just see me as if I'm your friend and give me that advice. Sometimes I switch and I say, okay, I want to discuss something with you. I want you to advise me as your sister now, not as your wife. Don't be biased. Just be straightforward. So, you can do that with your spouse. You could be vulnerable with your spouse, but not with someone else. So I hope you find this video helpful, and please stay committed to your vows, and please do not go into temptation. Don't lead yourself into temptation. Thank you. Bye.